Dr. Wendy, I like to call you Dr. or Dr. O'Connor, but everyone calls you Dr. Wendy, which I think is so relatable. It's so wonderful. But you are a psychologist and you deal with marriage and family counseling and couples therapy. And I know that we're talking about and relating to women who are, tapped into here because they saw fitness is your best asset, how to make time for fitness and health and self-care. And a lot of, there's a lot of things that go into that. But mainly what I caught my ear when I heard you on radio, because people turn to you for expert advice, is you were simply talking about women and how they're, which kind of surprised me. You would think they would have more time on their hands, but they're not really doing self-care. But you didn't attribute it to feeling lazy or depressed. It was more like, these are weird times. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah, no, thank you, Ronnie. I'm so excited to be a part of this project because I feel like it's so important, the empowerment of women. And, I always say, like, if mom's not okay, nobody's okay. Or if the woman in the family is not okay, nobody's okay. And that goes from the grandmother to the mother to, a teenager or a child. Self-care is so important. And the way that the world is right now, a lot of people are feeling very trapped and overwhelmed and stifled and stuck. And so with the COVID happening, yeah, you would think that a lot of people would have a lot of downtime, but women especially, they still have to manage the infrastructure of the family, right? And so a lot of times they just still find themselves last on the list. And so I'm always talking to women about putting yourself first, and especially self-care, and finding times to exercise, to eat healthy, to be inspired by other women who, are empowering and really staying as healthy as they can, especially at times like this.
Inspired, no one's brought that up. Look for people that inspire you. No one has brought that up, and it's true. You just made me think. I'm always, like you caught my ear talking about that. Mm-hmm. And when I'm the few places I drive to now, but when I do drive, I find myself listening more to podcasts. Not really self-help podcasts, but of other women, whether they're business podcasts or lifestyle or workout ones. And you're right. It keeps me thinking there are silver linings, and they're finding ways to relate and get things done and feel good. So yeah, that's a good thing to touch upon. This is a good time for podcasts and to listen to that, huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And comedy is also very important. I have a lot of young adults and women who are listening to comedy podcasts, and anything that is uplifting, even movies that make you laugh. But the other thing that I just wanted to say is when I work with women, I have them make a strong woman list. And so often they didn't get whatever they needed, maybe a secure attachment with their own mom. Maybe they got an anxious attachment or an ambivalent attachment. Maybe they saw a mom who struggled with substance abuse or mental health issues, just not the healthiest mom that they could have. And so it's okay, because we want to extract all the strength from what they did get from their moms, all the positives that they can think of, and then put together a list of any women that would be a strong woman on their list. For instance, Oprah is on mine, just because I love how she interviews and talks, and she's so curious about life and her guests. Martha Stewart, because she cooks and bakes. I don't. I burn everything, but that doesn't mean that I can't learn. Michelle Obama, whatever you think that looks like someone educated or could bake or could garden or who could dance. I mean, you're on my strong woman list. It's just a little that I know of you. God, you work out and you're empowering women, especially, as we mature later on in life. I need role models to empower me. Because, if I look at you and I go, wow, you are like a hottie and you're in incredible shape and you've got this incredible energy.
Oh, my husband,
yeah, I will.
Yeah, he thinks I'm a hottie, yeah. And the reason you're saying that is because I'm 55. I didn't pursue personal training to be a personal trainer till I was 46. And everybody else who was taking the exam was in their 20s. So I was like, okay, but this is my time.
Yep, that is, and it's amazing, and you can see it. So someone like you, fitness, health, and wellness. Anybody who fills your soul, and you go, yeah, whatever that person has, I want it. I think I am that way for a lot of young adults, a lot of young women, a lot of teens, and I'm honored to be that way. But it took me till my young adulthood, even into adulthood, to really understand how to do life. And so I love my mom, and she's like Lucille Ball. She's very funny and loving and very pretty, but she's got some other stuff that she's working on in life. And so I celebrate that, but I'm also looking to my strong woman list. And that means in every aspect, spiritual, emotional, physical, educational, social, anything that will help us to feel happy, safe, and loved in life.
I love that. I never thought of a strong woman list. I've heard of vision boards. I've tried vision boards or whatever, but that's really good. Not that there are not strong men and wonderful men that we look up to, but yeah, women tap into something else when they see it in another woman. You know, whether it's their
Well,
big.
because
No, go ahead.
also I was just going to say, we if we can't see it, then we can't really be it, and so it's very nice, like, in your field, like, okay, I'll exercise tomorrow. Well, like, okay, so what does that look like? Is it just going to be like, okay, I'm going to jump on the treadmill and see how it goes? Or are you going to be inspired and visually look at someone and someone be talking to you and empower you? So I'm an attachment therapist. So it's all about the relationships.
Oh, I love that. I remember, it's funny you mentioned that because when I was in college, I don't play tennis. I'm one of those that used to play every 3 years. If somebody wanted to play or something. I think it's been 10 years. But I remember always wanting that nice little line on the outside of your leg. Now it's the IT band, I know that. But that nice cut in my legs, because I used to watch tennis in college. I didn't play tennis, but when I saw those tennis players, I'm like, I want those legs.
Yeah,
They're
right.
fierce. I just thought they were so strong and beautiful. Oh, that's
Oh,
funny.
yeah.
Yeah, so you do
Yep.
picture yourself by looking at someone or something. And it's not a matter of perfection. Perfection to me is whatever you like, you know?
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
so
Yep.
you shouldn't follow like what is the standard now of what a magazine cover. That's going away. I just see so many more women over 40, over 50 going on Instagram. I was deathly afraid of going on Instagram because I thought, well, no, I've got wrinkles and I don't know how to use those apps to get rid of them. I was not an Instagram girl. I didn't like selfies. I'm proud of my body because I'm strong and I'm healthy. But, when this COVID closure thing happened, all of a sudden my clients were like, go on Zoom. Okay, here goes. We started training on Zoom. I started posting stuff on Instagram. I started posting, and it's like, you know what? There are other women that are getting on there too. Over
Absolutely.
40.
Ah, yes. I mean, when I approached perimenopause, I remember being so anxious and worried about it and not understanding, oh my God, what's this going to look like? I am 52. And so I instead of freaking out, I said, okay. And as a therapist, we always talk about there's feelings and there's facts. Okay, so freaking out, being overwhelmed, being scared or fearful, what is menopause going to look like? Or what is perimenopause going to look like? Or what is this big change in life? What does this all mean? And instead of sitting with fear, look at the facts. And I immediately grabbed two of my very good friends who are women a little bit older than me, who are beautiful and expressive and talented and empowering and ball busters, just boss bitches, just like know how to do life. And I immediately had a meeting with them and they sat me down. I mean, I remember I had tears like, what's this going to look like? And they were like, oh, we got your back. And we had a beautiful dinner and we just talked about celebrating the next stage of life. And it's all about the mind body connection and a lot about yoga and a lot about fitness and a lot about eating healthy and surrounding yourself with uplifting, positive people, places, and things. I mean, they taught me how to do it, and it's just, it's a breeze.
Yeah, reach up to who's done it, who's experienced it, and just to your friends.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Role models.
I also know that a lot of women are finding it hard to, well, they're finding they love their husband or they love their partner or their wife, but this is a trying time for couples. I mean, couples always have difficulties. There's always stuff going on every generation, but this whole pandemic thing, I have a lot of friends. It's a big joke now, but people are fighting over the office. Like
Office,
they
if
had a
they
home
have an
office,
office,
but
yeah.
they only used it once in a while, and now it's like they're both fighting for territory or space at home.
Oh yeah, well, I see a lot of young adults, and if they're, shacking up or living together, or, they're married, a lot of them are sharing kitchens, or, it's interesting. Now that I'm thinking about this, there's a aha moment. The men don't use the bathroom, but women use the bathroom. Huh, interesting. I just thought of that. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to have to analyze it later. Women use the bathroom as their offices often.
As their
So
offices.
as their offices, their home offices, bathrooms. Maybe it's privacy, maybe because they just need space.
Oh, they take the
Um,
phone in there. I see. Okay.
they take the laptop, they move into the bathroom. And it's interesting. I just thought of I don't know. I guess part of my association is, of course, it's going to be a woman, because, women think outside the box. We can be very flexible, and we can, be creative. Not that men can't, but I just noticed that there's a running theme with women working in the bathrooms as their office.
Are they
But
at least taking a bath, a bubble bath while working, or no?
no, girl, they're working. They got to work. But yes,
Because they need
couples.
that little space, that actual physical space. I mean, I have found myself, I hope he doesn't mind me talking about him. I love my husband, and he posted something like the first month into this. He posted, it's a good thing my wife and I get along, and it's a good thing we like, no, he put, it's a good thing we like each other, because I just thought it was funny. And we are pals, we're friends, but I have found myself working on the computer when I'm not training, and he's next to me, and I don't want him there. I want to be alone. Isn't that weird? I love him,
No.
but I want some alone, even though you think that we want more company.
Well, first of all, I think that is such an important point, because a lot of women want their space. They feel, they had a rhythm at home, and
Yeah.
some women feel judged, like, is he going to watch me, or, or had this, this safe place, or sacred place, or comfortable private place, and, and now, for the most part, just everybody's at home. And so it's important to be playful. And I love that your husband put that intention out there, as much as you all believe that, which is, my buddy is at home. And so it's important to keep good boundaries too. But, couples come to me to make it or to break it. So even in cyberspace, when I'm doing Zoom sessions all day, that it's the same thing, make it or break it. I have not done so much. I have done so many couples therapy sessions, more than I've ever done in my whole life. I mean, couples need to talk, and they need to figure out, it's like two teenagers. We got to talk about rules, expectations. Some couples don't really even know each other after 20 years. So we got to get back to just, what does that look like to date and to have fun? But boundaries is the number one thing. This is where your day is. This is where my day is. And and some people are type A, structured, so they take their breaks at the same time, they take a walk at the same time, and then others, are just kind of lollygagging around and kind of bored and hanging out. And so you really have to talk about how we're going to do this. What is the plan? What's the game plan?
And what's your
And
personality? Yeah.
and being playful is something, but with boundaries. So I'm upstairs in my office, my husband is downstairs, and I know when his lunch break is, and so he's like clockwork. He's the type A in my family, which is fun, and he knows it, and he's very specific and detailed. But I know at lunchtime I can come down and give him a big, huge, juicy kiss and a hug, and he's on lunch break and he's in work mode, so I have to respect that. But at the same time, it's like, come on, let's have a little fun. And but
Right.
we literally kind of do our own thing, and obviously my thing has to be very confidential and everything. So he doesn't disrupt me. Once in a blue moon, after middle of a day or the evening when I'm still having sessions. He will tap on the door and I'll say, excuse me for one moment. He'll bring me lunch. He'll bring me a
Aw,
coffee. He'll bring me
good.
dinner. Yeah. And so I guess that's also what I want to say is how can we support each other instead of
Yeah.
judge or down each other? And we just do it subconsciously. Sometimes people even don't know that they're spiraling into a negative.
Well, see, with me, I finally figured out it wasn't that he was annoying me. He wasn't annoying me. I felt, and I don't know if other women feel this way, I felt like if he was next to me, I had to pay attention to him. He wasn't asking for attention. I just felt like I should, because other times before this whole thing happened, we weren't around each other so long. So I always felt like when we were together, I should pay attention to him. And we finally, I started when I was getting really busy with things. I said, I'm sorry. It's not that I'm not paying attention to you. He goes, no, you have things to do. Don't worry about it. I didn't realize men aren't so analyzing as we are. We're just overthinking it. And I let him know a few times, like, I'm sorry if I feel like I'm ignoring you. He's like, no, honey, it's fine. I know you're doing stuff. Just tell me when you want to be in there, when I can be in there. We worked it out. Men aren't that complicated. It's just
They're
like,
not that complicated, Ronnie. You're right. They're simple, and we make them complicated, and we make them think that we're talking to our girlfriends, and it'd be interesting. I'm also doing a lot of couples therapy with gay and lesbian couples, and so the gender issues are very interesting too, and so women, for the most part, process, and men like to fix. And
yeah,
so if there's not a problem, then what's the problem? So, like, for instance, because I do Skype or I do media or I do interviews on radio or whatever, my husband wants to make sure the sound is good, so there's he can fix it, or the lighting is good. It put him to work with something that he can fix. Other than that, you do your day. And you know um I also want to say, don't forget your animals, your beautiful puppies, your kittens. Any kind of support animals can be really important right now. This time, people are feeling really overwhelmed, but to treat a lot of depression or anxiety, especially with the fitness world, I am, prescribing lots of emotional support dogs right now. Take them up, take them out, go walking, listen to some music, get some fresh air. And the big thing also that's going on is that people are fostering dogs. So they don't necessarily want to have full-time puppies or dogs, but they're going and they're saying, I can have a dog for a couple months and I'll
right.
do a nice deed. And so there's some other creative ways to get fit and to be playful and really focus on self-care.
No, that's a great idea. Take your dogs for a walk. You can go by yourself if you want some alone time and get some fitness in, or that's a good couple thing, a couple break to do as well. Yeah, to get
Yeah.
out. And that's the other thing. I felt like, well, if I was feeling guilty because I'm ignoring him, I'm sure women also feel guilty taking time out to go work out, because the kids are there, so they're abandoning their husband to take care of the kids and the household while they go work out in another room. It's like, no, they're probably not overthinking it that much. And if you
And I
show,
don't care if they are. And I don't care if they are. You set your boundaries and you say, honey, I love you. I'm going to work out. Or listen, I tell all my women, please put yourself first. If you don't, like I said, if you're not okay, nobody else is going to be okay. And
yeah,
so, for my singles, when my singles feel very, like they're isolating and they feel just really, low,
yeah,
go outside, go pick flowers, go take pictures of some nature, go sit where in a park, obviously with your mask, and be safe, wash your hands, social distance, all the important things people are telling us to do. But, jump on Zoom meetings. There's lots of groups. I have women dating in Zoom, and I wouldn't have it any other way. You don't stop your life. We continue to move forward. But, but if someone did have a problem by saying, wait a minute, I don't get to go to the gym, why do you get to go to the gym? You know what? They have to find, so if your partner is male or female or whatever, if someone has a problem with you exercising, putting yourself first, making a smoothie or chopping up a salad, because that's the most important thing for you, there's going to be some other problems in that
yeah,
relationship if self-care is a problem.
yeah. And the other thing is maybe a lot of women just want the house to get clean and they can't walk away from it because more people are home, there's more clutter, and they just can't stand seeing their husband finally take a break, and the husband should take a break, but it's hard to see your husband on the couch watching TV and the kids playing, and you want to go work out when you see a mess and you start doing chores. Like, leave the chores, they will be
Yes.
there, go work out. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And you don't have to go to the gym. I
Yes.
just mean in another room. Go take care of
Yes.
yourself. You'll feel better about it. Leave them
Yep.
alone.
And therapists call it, well, I call it, I don't know who else, sitting with the mess, really tolerating. It's fine. It's okay to be messy. Be messy. Like you said, the world goes on. It'll be there when you come back. Also, there's a lot of cleaning to avoid other things like marital issues or conflicts, or not wanting to deal with your depression or anxiety or the overwhelming feelings of, COVID, or people who are recovering from COVID. So there's so many people who are developing OCD and let's shift it in a different way, instead of fear, coming from love and empowerment.
So more people are just starting to do chores and clean. Wow.
And also to avoid exercise. No. So why don't you go on your treadmill and give that a good scrubbing while you jog, or go and if there's any trash on the streets or whatever, go bring your broom. I don't care what you do. Get moving and get outside. We all have to keep doing our lives. We just have to be really safe about it.
Right. And, and I don't want this to be, everybody knows. You go on the web, you go on Facebook, you've read it for years in magazines, you've heard it on all media. Exercise is good for you and why. It reduces the risk of high blood pressure, high cholesterol, pre-diabetes. Everybody knows how healthy and good it is for your body. So this can't be a preaching thing. People know you should exercise and eat clean or well and not overeat. So for the people that don't, is there any way to help people to engage them even little by little, or even yourself if you're having some kind of block?
Great question. And yes, I am a therapist. I'm also a certified life coach, and I have a coaching business. So I have a business of a whole bunch of other coaches that could be a match for anyone. So if someone does not want therapy, and that's fine, therapy is not for everyone. Sometimes, life coaches are very big here in Los Angeles. But what I do is I'll think outside the box, and I will try to help people get to their goal, however that is.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a whole bunch of ex-athletes that are coaches, and they're just sitting around, and they are also mentors. So I pair them with families, and sometimes they get little groups, put the masks on, and they will play soccer with a group of kids just for like an hour or half hour. So they'll donate their time. This is not just like, oh, let's charge everybody lots of money for it. No, I have incredible people who just do it out of the goodness of their heart. But so you can get people who have a gift of loving soccer, or I have a wonderful basketball coach. He's awesome, and he's never been so busy in his life. And so he has lots of kids. He does one-on-one and groups. And so parents don't necessarily have to do those activities with the kids. It's good if they do, it's nice if they do, but nobody's saying you have to be the one. But I'll even have, my life coaches who might not be experts in fitness, but you want to talk about problems or you want to talk about solutions? Let's walk while we do it. And so I have a whole bunch of women who hire life coaches just to walk with them, or, sober companions. Yeah, sober companions. I tell people to try to get excited. So for the women who are like, oh God, I just don't want to, go put on makeup, go find a cute outfit, put it together, put some earrings on, try to spoof yourself up a little bit, put some perfume on. Essential oils are huge, especially orange oil is orange oil is great for depression, anxiety. And so there are many different ways, buying new sneakers. That's another one that I tell my clients. You don't have to spend $1 million, but bright, vibrant. The other thing I always tell my women,
quality sneakers that just makes me want to go show them off or work out well, because darn, I paid money for those and I'm going to show them off. Yeah, you're right.
I got to tell you, it is like Prozac to the soul. I'm going to show you. I love my bright pink, no matter where I am.
I love them.
I got my cute Adidas, and I I always tell my women, regardless if you work out, always put your tennis shoes at the door in your bedroom, the door in the front door, the door in the back door, because the tennis shoes are going to look at you and guilt you. And you're going to get it subconsciously in your head, walk me. And before you know it, you're going to want to put beautiful shoes on and get out. And if you say to yourself, oh gosh, I have to be a marathon runner, I've got to jog. No, just walk and relax. And you know what? You don't have to bring technology. In fact, I'm all about technology. I love helping people connect in technology, but you know what? Put the technology off to the side and just hear, some mindfulness, nature. Just breathe, just observe. I mean, feel what it feels like and try to distract yourself from the COVID and this awkward way we're all wearing masks now. Look at the sun, look at how beautiful the clouds are. Get out of your head. It's possible. And then secondarily, you're just going to be exercising and you're going to want to do that more. It gets addictive. Plus vitamin D. Of course, we all need sunshine to our brain.
Yeah. And people, there's this big, and I'm not turning this into politics, but there's, oh yeah, well, see, if we didn't have to wear masks and we could go out more and we want everything open, it's like, okay, let's just deal with the cards we're handed, wear the mask in public and in groups, go somewhere where you can take it off for a while and get some exercise in nature in. I mean, the other day I was driving between client and client. I had an hour. So it's not enough time to get anything done or go home, but it's a lot of time. So I stopped at, if you're in LA, this Ryman Canyon Park.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Cars parked there. I didn't see a soul, so I knew they were hiking. I literally got beside my car. I was under a tree by a park bench and I worked out. And it was awesome. There was a breeze and I worked out and I was outside and I didn't have to wear a mask. So yeah, find it where you can.
Absolutely. And I love that you date yourself. And that's what I also tell women, you gotta fill your heart up. We can't depend on anyone else. And especially because now it is a time where people are isolating and feel very very disconnected. And so again, animals, friends, lots of women walk together, social distance, masks. I mean, they joke around a lot. Keep things light and fun. And especially if you're a mom, you're role modeling for your child, whether they're a young adult, which tons of young adults are living at home right now. I have a 18, almost 19-year-old here, which is, all we do is laugh, which is fun, but I make him get out and, I ask him, no, I tell him in a loving way, please take the dog out. Even if I already walk the dog, I get him out and make sure he goes for 3 walks a day. Who else could get a teenager out? But he loves his dog and he loves me. And so he does it, but he doesn't really need to walk the dog. I need him to get out.
Gotcha. Love it. I did not know about how you were connected and have a connection, a network of life coaches and different kinds of coaches. So that's really good. So your information is going to be on this. And I'm definitely going to spread the word and spread that by social media and refer to you in the coming months and years. I love that. I didn't even know that.
Thank you.
But is there anything that you would like to offer that you can offer? Because I know you're a doctor and this is your profession, but is there anything, because I didn't know about that network, is there anything that you could offer as a freebie or a gift?
Absolutely. So if you go to trafficlight.com, www.trafficlight.com is one
L-I-T.
word. And Light.
Okay.
And that is my website. Is it Lite? No, Light, right?
Yeah,
that's
GHT.
light. Oh, okay. You made me, I was like, wait a minute.
I made you down.
Yeah, you freaked me out for a second. I was like, what is my website? I have a lot of things I do. I do podcasts, I do my therapy, and then so trafficlight.com. And anybody who's interested, you can call me and get a free assessment for a half hour. You'll talk to me one-on-one. And what my method is are you in the red? Are you in the yellow? Or are you in the green? And so it's about the traffic light. And so my couples use it, my women use it, my teenagers use it. They'll say, oh, I was feeling very red today. Or I was feeling yellow, but I managed to move into green. Or
you know what? I think how my day is. Oh my gosh, now I'm thinking in green, yellow, or red. I'm like, what am I?
Yeah, good.
Green. Okay.
Yeah. And when you're green, it doesn't mean, everything's, like you have nothing to work on. But I want couples to go, hey, we're having a really beautiful green light moment now. You need to be aware of it so we can have more green light moments. If you're working on health and fitness and you're having a green day, you want to acknowledge that. Even if you're having a yellow day headed to red and you're ready to binge and not exercise, you say, okay, so guess what? Tomorrow I'm going to work towards green. And if it's yellow, that's even good enough, you know? So anyway, a half-hour free assessment. And then if you're interested, I can give you a little bit of feedback on some ideas. We can brainstorm. And it doesn't mean therapy, and it doesn't mean always my life coaches. It's just where you're at right now and what you want to work on. And I love to reach out. I'm a nonprofit girl at heart, so I always did tons of volunteer work, and I love to meet people. And I'm so grateful that I do what I love, and try to help people feel better in life. So if they go to my website, or they can just call me at 310-712-1230. I'm sure you'll give, the information, hopefully.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. And they can call me and just say they want the free assessment. It's 30 minutes. And I'm here to help anyone with red light issues, yellow light issues, or even if you're green and you just want to check in, I'm here.
Green doesn't mean that everything's wonderful. I think I felt green because I thought, well, I'm taking action, so I'm going. Go. It's not always fun, but you're going. So that's how I interpreted it just then and there.
Yeah, and for you, green could be your beautiful moment by the tree, exercising. And, green can be eating a pizza.
There you go. So it's Dr. Wendy. Make sure you find her. You know what she looks like when you go to trafficlight.com. Because I was just laughing because you could get the DM or something that has to do with cars and dealing with the DMV. So just be very careful.
Yep, that has happened. But my other website is drwendyo'connor.com, and that's spelled out DOCTOR, WendyO'Connor.com. If you call the other Dr. Wendy, she's in New York and Greenwich Village. She's a blonde, and we all get each other's emails and phone messages, but she's great. So if you ever need a therapist in New York, that's the other Dr. Wendy O'Connor. But if you have Schwartz O'Connor, that'd be me. Yeah.
That's wonderful. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Wendy. You've been a plethora of information. We could tap on everything. I love the dog. I love spending time, the Stronger Woman list. There's a lot here. So I'm sure people should replay you and listen to this again. Thank you, Dr. Wendy.
Thank you, Ronnie. Great seeing you.